"Get them out now!" Ethan shouted, his hands shaking as he tore the door open, flames licking at the crumpled car. His pulse thundered in his ears as he yanked Jessica from the wreckage, but his heart froze when he turned back. There, in the back seat, her 3 children, no more than 3 years old, were trapped, helpless. The fire was inching closer with each passing second, and the storm raged even harder. Ethan didn't think. He just moved. The storm outside had a fury of its own, slashing through the streets of Washington, D.C., like an unforgiving beast. Ethan Miller, still feeling the weight of a long shift behind him, gripped the wheel of his fire truck, his eyes tired but sharp. The low rumble of thunder seemed almost quieter than the tension in the air. As he turned a corner, his eyes caught the glow of a car's headlights struggling through the rain. The vehicle had lost control, skidding off the slick highway and crashing into a barrier. A flash of lightning illuminated the wreckage, and in that moment, Ethan saw her. Jessica, struggling in the driver's seat, panic evident in her wide eyes. His heart clenched as the helpless sounds of children echoed from the back seat. Without thinking, he jumped out of the truck, ready to face the storm's fury head-on. But this wasn't just a storm of nature. It was about to become a storm of his heart. The storm didn't relent, but neither did Ethan. As he drove Jessica and her children to safety, he couldn't shake the weight of what had just happened. He had saved them, yes, but in that split second of danger, something inside him shifted. And for the first time in years, Ethan felt a connection to someone that wasn't just a job. But as the storm raged on outside, he realized that Jessica was holding on to more than just gratitude. She was holding a secret. A past so tangled it might just change everything. If you're hooked in and you're ready to enjoy this story, click subscribe and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Because tomorrow, I will be giving you another story just as interesting as this one. And you don't want to miss it. Now back to the story. But right now, none of that mattered. The rain came down in sheets, turning the crumpled wreckage into a tomb of twisted metal and shattered glass. Ethan's hands trembled as he reached through the broken window, feeling for the boy's pulse. Weak. Fading. Behind him, flames licked hungrily at the engine block, hissing against the downpour. Smoke spiraled into the night air, choking and thick. "Come on, kid. Stay with me." The girl in the backseat was screaming now, raw, terrified wails that cut straight through his chest. He had seconds. Maybe less. Pull the boy first. He's closer. He's dying. But the fire was spreading toward the back. Ethan made his choice. He grabbed the boy's collar and yanked. Hard. The child's body came free, limp and cold. Ethan laid him on the wet pavement and dove back in. The heat was unbearable now. The girl came out kicking and screaming, her fingers locked around Ethan's jacket like a vice. He carried both kids to his truck, Jessica stumbling behind them through the rain. Inside the cabin, silence hung heavy, broken only by the storm hammering the windshield. "Thank you." Jessica's voice was barely a whisper. Her hands shook as she pulled the children close. Ethan nodded, gripping the wheel. He didn't trust himself to speak. The triplets, 2 boys, 1 girl, pressed against him instead of their mother. Small hands clutching his sleeve. Wide eyes staring up like he was some kind of hero. He wasn't. Jessica noticed. Something flickered across her face. Hurt, maybe. Or shame. She turned toward the window, her jaw tight. Ethan's chest ached. He'd saved them. So why did it feel like he'd stepped into something he couldn't save them from? The road ahead blurred. Ethan's house felt emptier than usual. He'd dropped them at a motel on Route 50. Watched Jessica carry the kids inside without looking back. No second glance. No Rayal goodbye. Now he sat alone in his kitchen, still soaked, staring at nothing. His reflection caught in the window. Older. Tired. Haunted. He'd been that man once, the one who saved people. Before Afghanistan. Before the explosion that took his unit and left him with nothing but scars and sleepless nights. He'd sworn he was done. Done caring. done trying. But those kids. And her. Jessica's face kept flashing through his mind. The way she'd flinched when her own children reached for him instead. The walls she'd built so high, even her own family couldn't climb them. Ethan rubbed his eyes. He should walk away. He wouldn't. 3 days later, Ethan showed up at the motel with groceries. Jessica opened the door halfway, eyes red-rimmed. "You don't have to do this." "I know." She let him in. The room was cramped. 2 beds, 3 kids, one exhausted mother trying to hold it all together. Toys scattered across stained carpet. The smell of cheap coffee and desperation. "Their father left 2 years ago," Jessica said quietly, arms crossed. "Just walked out one morning. Never came back." Ethan set the bags down. Listened. "I work double shifts at the diner off Pennsylvania Avenue. It's still not enough. Daycare, rent, food." Her voice cracked. "I'm drowning, Ethan. But I don't need pity. That's not why I'm here." "Then why?" He didn't have an answer. Jessica turned away, wiping her eyes. Pride and pain warring across her face. "If you've ever felt like you're drowning too, like no one sees you fighting, maybe this story matters to you as much as it does to me." The attorney's office in Georgetown was nothing like Jessica expected. Polished mahogany, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Potomac. She felt small sitting across from Mr. Caldwell, a silver-haired man in a suit worth more than her monthly rent. "Your late aunt's estate is substantial," he said, sliding papers across the desk. $3 million. Jessica's breath caught. "But there's a condition." His expression didn't change. "You must sever all contact with your children's father's family. Permanently. Your aunt believed they were toxic influences." Her stomach dropped. The triplets' grandparents. Flawed, yes, but they still sent birthday cards. Still called. "If you refuse, the money goes to charity." $3 million. Stability. College funds. A real home. All she had to do was cut ties. Jessica stared at the contract. Hands trembling. What kind of person does that make me? Jessica showed up at Ethan's door that night, mascara streaked, contract crumpled in her fist. "I don't know what to do." He pulled her inside. Made tea. Let her talk. $3 million, Ethan. The kids would never struggle again. But I'd have to cut off their grandparents. People who actually care about them. Her voice broke. What kind of mother chooses money over family? Ethan sat across from her, steady, calm. "You're not choosing money. You're trying to survive. It feels wrong." "Then don't do it." Jessica laughed bitterly. "Easy for you to say. You're not the one working 2 jobs and still coming up short." "I know." He leaned forward. "But whatever you choose, I'm here. For you. For them. You're not alone anymore." The words hung between them. Jessica searched his face, looking for the lie. She didn't find one. 2 weeks passed. Ethan helped with the kids, picked them up from school, made dinners, told bedtime stories while Jessica worked late shifts. Tonight, she came home early. The triplets were asleep. Ethan had cooked. Nothing fancy, just pasta and garlic bread. But the table was set. Candles flickering. Jessica stopped in the doorway, throat tight. "You didn't have to." "I wanted to." They ate in comfortable silence. Then Jessica set down her fork. "I tore up the contract." Ethan looked up. "I called the attorney yesterday. Told him to give it all to charity." Her eyes glistened. "Those kids deserve grandparents who love them. And I deserve." She couldn't finish. Ethan reached across the table, took her hand. "You deserve everything, Jessica." "I'm falling for you," she whispered. "That terrifies me." "Me too." Their fingers intertwined. For the first time in years, neither of them felt alone. Saturday morning at Rock Creek Park felt like redemption. The triplets ran ahead, chasing each other through fallen leaves while Jessica walked beside Ethan, their hands brushing occasionally. Testing, learning. "They've never been this happy," she said softly. Ethan watched the kids climb over a fallen log, laughing. "Neither have I." Jessica stopped, turned to face him. "I'm still scared, you know. That this is too good. That it'll fall apart." "It won't." "You don't know that." "No," Ethan admitted. "But I know I'm not going anywhere." The oldest boy, Caleb, ran back, tugging Ethan's sleeve. "Come on. We found a creek." Ethan glanced at Jessica. She nodded, smiling through tears. As they walked toward the sound of rushing water and children's laughter, the weight of the past began to lift. Not gone. Never completely gone. But lighter. Maybe you needed to hear this today. That broken things can still become beautiful. That's why stories like this matter. That's why I keep telling them.
Thank you for watching this story to the end. If you enjoyed the story, you will surely love the next one. It's as crazier and more intriguing as you can ever imagine. So do check it out.